All right, now I'm gonna go live on Facebook. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Soul Talks. What? This is something different. Okay, that's good though. It's got me in a little box now, so I can see comments. Wow, this thing is always changing. So I went live on YouTube too. I don't know why I did it once before and then I didn't do it again. Anyway, here we are again, another Sunday. We're closing in on 2 years of doing this. What? Crazy. Anyway, I couldn't go live unless I put a title on it on YouTube. So, what I put was, have you ever asked yourself, who am I? Have you ever asked yourself that? Who am I? Because most people believe that the running commentary in the head, the one that's constantly criticizing and saying some she should be doing this, he shouldn't do that, and that whole commentary is who we are, and it isn't. It's not who we are. When we walk around believing we are these characters, it's painful. Believing we are these bodies and minds hurts. End of story. Because the first belief is, I'm not enough. I've separated from God, life, love, whatever's running this show. And you can't be separate from anything, from anything, even if a person has transitioned. It's not possible to be separate from that person. That person was literally part of your imagination. I know that's a tough one. Literally, everything out here is being projected from what's going on in here. The beliefs, whatever you see, the believer, you are not the believer either. You're not the believer. You're not the one that brings up all these thoughts. There's no new thoughts. Thoughts are recycled, completely recycled. We all have the same thoughts. And as these kids that I'm working with, that I'm substitute teaching for, some of them completely break down. I had a little download on the beach yesterday because it was major chaos in the kindergarten that I did on Thursday, and the third grade at my school, the school that I love, on Friday, had some major breakdowns because already they're conformed. They're actually one little boy yesterday, not yesterday's Friday, in third grade said to me, how do you say that? He said, I thought nice teachers didn't exist. So I just play fair with all of them as much as I can. And chaos usually ensues. And I just realized why is because they aren't allowed to be who they are. The teachers, have to control, they think they have to control them and make them be in a line, not talk at all, Yeah, but I'm not blaming the teachers because the teachers have 20 kids or more in their one class, and if everybody's talking at once, I mean, what they do with me is they don't get my I can only deal with one person at a time, and when they'll come right in front of the other one and say, "I need blah, 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 blah." All of this is impossible for one teacher. This is why the whole system has to be revamped. I don't know the answer, but we are all conditioned to believe we're doing life wrong. All those thoughts in our head are programs from when we're young. Programs of don't do that. No, not that way. It's constantly from the teachers, from other people, from our family, all telling us we're doing it wrong. So that's a deeply ingrained program in the mind. And that's not who we are. There's a post that I had posted. Wait a minute, it might be it's about kids. That little girl is running and jumping. Children are driven by spirit, not logic or fear. Those come later. That's what happens before we're conditioned to believe in fear of a future and not trusting that life knows what it's doing. And each parent is so afraid to lose their child that they try to warn them about the dangers. Life knows what it's doing, even if it takes that life. It knows what it's doing. Who's here? Somebody's here. I'm going to check on YouTube too. Okay, nice. Um, so that fear that's instilled in us, it's always fear of a future. That fear becomes what we believe ourselves to be. That fear, we believe we are that fear, that running tape in our heads that say, "Be careful, something bad's going to happen in the future. Something if we don't do blah blah blah, something bad's going to happen." That's the way we go through our lives, believing something bad's going to happen if I don't take control of this. And that controller isn't even real. It's made up of thoughts. A little kid doesn't have a controller. There's no controller inside there yet. They're just going through life the way they're meant to go through life, just like a bird, just like a fish, just like that palm tree blowing in the breeze. We are that. We aren't separate from that. So I'm going to play a little video. It's a video that I posted that it's so profound. It's called The Biggest Lie We've Ever Believed. 178 days in space revealed the truth hidden in plain sight. No borders, no nations, no separation. And this video shows it in a beautiful way.
After 178 days in space, an astronaut returned with a revelation. It's all been a lie. From that vantage point, there are no borders, no nations, no walls or fences. Just one fragile sphere, alive with oceans, mountains, and forests. The boundaries we fight and bleed for, human inventions. A story we told ourselves, and forgot we made it up. We were taught to see division, to be loyal to flags, to fight wars over lines drawn by others. But from space, it becomes so clear. Separation is the illusion that has cost us centuries of suffering. Patriotism, nationalism, politics, identities, they've convinced us we are different. But the truth is, we've always been one. Every breath you take connects with the forests of another land. Every heartbeat is part of a rhythm shared by billions. From orbit, there are no enemies, there are no strangers. Only fellow travelers on a fragile rock, orbiting a star in a galaxy that doesn't recognize borders, armies, or flags. Just life in its purest form, connected, interwoven, inseparable. The real lie is forgetting that we are in this together, that the survival of one depends on the well-being of all, that this earth, this miracle of water, soil, and sky, is not divided. It is one living body, and we are its cells. Our greatest act of courage now is to remember, there is no them, there is only us. And together, as caretakers of this world, we are being called to live the truth. We are one family, on one earth, with one shared destiny. Up on.
And that one shared destiny is coming back to the love that we are, every single one of us. I said to Peter this morning when I woke up, I said, is it scary to you? Because we had, on the way to the beach yesterday, had a pretty good discussion. Most people would say argument, but we were discussing. We were discussing when we judge somebody else as wrong, we're only hurting ourselves. I love the innocence. Every single person is innocent. Every single human being is innocently believing their thoughts. And if somebody's coming at you with anger and resentment and blame, if you can know that they are coming from what they're believing, it has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. It's how they're processing life. Doesn't mean you have to be around them, doesn't mean anything except realizing that it doesn't have to hurt. And if it does hurt, they are your gift. Bottom line. Bottom line. They are your gift. Good morning, Margie. I just played a little video that was, there's no boundaries. We're not separate from the tree, from the plant. We're not separate from anything. And when you go, there's a video that I was listening to about, it's, what's the name of it? It's a near-death experience video. But it's not really a video of them talk. It's called Life to Afterlife, Death and Back. And these are accounts of people, and God, you can feel in their words what happens when you die. We're all going to die. Every single person's going to die. But we act as if we're not. The thing is, you can die while you're still alive. Die to that little me that's fighting through life, that's needing to be right, needing to win, needing to. Mel Robbins knew her book that came out in the summer called Let Them. That's it. Whenever there's a judgment about somebody else doing it wrong, let them. You don't have to take it on. You don't have to make your life miserable by judging somebody else's life. Once you let go of the way they should be, the whole relationship turns around. The whole relationship flips on its axis. Saturday when I had that breakdown, and Travis, who I've judged his life as wrong because he's so angry and fighting the exes and all that anger inside. That's mine. He's living his life. So and he's the one that said to me last week, "Mom, you don't have to let go of this dream. It's just not coming to you. It's going to come when it's meant to come, not on your terms." Oh my God, it was so beautiful. What? That came to him be on the that's not an angry person. That's not a I. It was my projection of him the way he's being. Same with my sister. I projected her as being a certain way. And now that I'm sending love, I'm feeling the love. As I think about her and feel love instead of judgment and bitterness, anger towards the way that was mine. It wasn't hers. She had to live that out because that's what I was believing about her. So I'm changing my beliefs about what's happening here. I'm starting to see that, huh, it's only that way because I'm seeing it that way subconsciously. That's just something I'm playing with right now, and I just came across a beautiful post that actually because I was in the shower saying, "I want to see this. I want to see clearly what's actually happening here." I In no uncertain terms, I want to continue this depth of realizations of what's actually going on here so the suffering can end. They say it can. I know that it's a hell of a lot less suffering than it was in the past, when I was younger and miserable and believing I was less than everybody else, and which made me want to be more than everybody else, which is that's all ego. That's all that mind made me. That doesn't exist. We really are doesn't have anything to prove. It doesn't have anything to uh, it doesn't have to be involved in anybody else's life. It doesn't have to. All it has to do is recognize the love that it is and come from that always in every I mean, and if it doesn't, that's okay. How can you see the contrast if you don't? Don't beat yourself up if you're not coming from love. You'll find out, you'll feel it. If it feels like shit inside, you're coming from the thought made me that doesn't really exist. It's a thought made me. Lori, that's not who I am. It's just a belief in all those thoughts being who I am, which causes suffering. I don't know if it's possible to convey this, but there is no person inside any body. If you could see the light in everybody instead of believing the judgments you have about somebody, and I'm taking this on myself, seeing the light, the innocence. And I said that to Peter this morning. I said, "Is it scary for you the way I think?" He said, "Yes, it is scary because you don't think anybody's wrong. You always think you're right. And it's not about right and wrong, it's about seeing the innocence in everybody." And my idea of they need to be doing, because he is automatic. Somebody wants me to go do something. And he's like, "What? What? You have to go do that? Why?" When I didn't even question it. It comes as an either yes or no. And there was something that was asked of me, and I was exhausted, and I was like, "Oh God, I don't want to do that." But as the evening went on, as time went on, I got this was right after I got out of school. Well, it was this message was sent during school, but I can't get it except on my breaks, and it was after. So I sat on the couch, just defragging from the day. The third graders. I had to put out so many fires because it was different than their average day, because they actually liked me. And when it got loud, they didn't like it was chaos in there. They did not like it. So this I'm learning too. I'm learning right along with them. They are teaching me a lot. These kids that I'm learning so much about myself through this, about all of the beliefs. Anyway, one kid was crying under the table. So I had to go under the table to find out what the deal was with him. And I was able to talk him through all of his thoughts. And then there was another one that was fighting with him that one had to be put out too. And I said, listen, if you get a hold of this and realize that that's just a thought and it's not true, each time your body feels like crap, I, that's what Travis said to me. He goes, that's the way you're going to help is through kids because they don't have the rigidity, the so many years of judgment. And but you know what, as Eckhart Tolle says in The Power of Now, it takes a lot of suffering for an adult, a human, to see through this. It takes suffering, and you're just giving up, saying, show me what the hell is happening here. What is this, and why does it feel so bad? Because that's not what it's meant. It's not meant to feel bad. We think we've been kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and that isn't true. The Garden of Eden is right here, depending on how you're thinking of your life and getting hooked. There's a hook. When somebody says something and it hurts, or there's a judgment that comes up that they shouldn't have said that, or what they're doing is wrong, right there, that's the hook. And you can go down the road with that hook because the thoughts will continue to build on that. It'll just continue. And eventually you can come back to, if it starts feeling crap inside, come back to that breath, to the now. Poof! All of that is gone. Was it real in the first place? If by taking a breath and following it back to now, everything, all that uptightness is gone. Was it real? Do you have to follow it? Do you have to? And who's following it? Who's the one following it? And who's the one that came back? That's the little me that you believe yourself to be. But there is an awareness that you really are that's watching all of this happen. There's an awareness that can see the thoughts and stop them. Well, it's well, that's a good one. I've never said that before. Who's coming back to stopping the thoughts? There's an awareness that you're not separate from. Ooh, never said this before. You're not separate from the awareness. You only believe you are. Wow. Do you feel that, Margie? I've never, that's the first time I've ever seen it said it. So, when we're coming from the awareness, that's the piece When we're rooted in that awareness, that's the peace inside that we're all looking for. We're all looking for peace. They say peace of mind. When they say that's so funny when they say rest in peace. Of course, a person is resting in peace. It's all peace when you drop the mind, the identity. Every single person that has died looks down at their body and says, no attachment to that body whatsoever. Thoughts are gone. Pure awareness, all knowing. But when we come back to here, this is the programming. When we believe we are inside a body, there's the programming. He's wrong. He should. He shouldn't. She should. All of that is pain. And keeping it concretized, the me. Keeping the me alive. It loves drama. Loves it. Even when it's saying it's all drama. That's drama inside your body. That's Peter. It's all drama around him. It's all okay. I don't know what I said yesterday on the beach. I said something. No, we were driving. It was still part of the communication that was going on. It looked like a fight, but it wasn't fighting. It was literally each of us trying to get our point across. And I did. And once I did, it got silent. Once his mind was in checkmate, it just stopped. Because that mind's going to fight. It does not like this message at all. But who you really are does. And who you really are is much stronger than that mind. Much strong. That's what it's afraid of. It knows that we are stronger. It knows that we are. Oops. Let me go back onto YouTube for a second. Okay. All good over there. I don't have to upload it today because I'm just going to hit done and it will upload itself. Nice. And my computer's handling it. I still haven't gotten a new computer. But since this one's still working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It ain't broke yet. Yet. I'm hearing a noise. There's a noise in our bathroom, a little trickle. So if we're projecting all of this is what I'm going with right now. If we're projecting all of whatever's happening, I'm seeing images of water coming down our walls. I don't want to see those images. I don't want that to manifest. I mean, if it does, it does, and we'll deal with it as it, but like with the car, I said, something's wrong with the steering. Peter's like, I don't notice anything. When the steering goes, complete steering rack needs to be. So I say, he can't hear. He doesn't have hearing like he used to, and he can't hear it. I went outside. I thought it was raining out because in our bathroom we can hear rain. So when I was taking a shower, because they said it's supposed to rain today, it is clouding over. But so I assumed maybe I haven't looked outside. Maybe it's raining. I come outside. It's all sunny. It was sunny, and I'm like, okay, what's this twinkling? You know how water makes a sound? Ooh, is what it is. I'm not gonna go down that road of something bad's gonna happen. I don't. If I go down that road, I go down that road. Whatever. I don't want to, but if I do, it's okay. I'll learn something from it. When we stop learning, we stop being open to any kind of learning. Might as well be the end, right? When you see that we are not these bodies and minds, or we are not just these bodies and minds, not just. I mean, because when you see a toddler going through life, it's not being directed by thoughts, it's being directed by spirit or whatever's doing this. Just like that bird and the trees moving in the wind. The wind. Mm. When we're stuck in our heads, we're not grateful for anything. Gratitude is the easiest way to get to who you really are. When you feel in that gratitude for something, my mind is when something happens automatically. I don't know when our new vehicle, the water pump went, or no, no, it was an alternator, I think, and how that all unfolded so beautifully. It wasn't a terribly hot day. I happened to have parked in the sun, I mean, in the shade at the school I was at. And Peter, we were able to go get the part for a discount because he works with the whole thing. When you look at what you're grateful for in any situation, it changes the situation. It changes the situation just by being grateful because you're feeling what you really are inside. When you're feeling gratitude, you're feeling what you really are. You're not feeling that angst and poor me, victim mentality. That's ego. That's the little me that's not real. She's just doing the best she can. And if she's open to this message, the suffering has a chance to mitigate. Ooh, I don't even know if I've ever used that word. It was like yesterday, that download that came on the beach. That was the coolest thing, how it downloaded. I was like, wow, I see why these kids are the way they are. Because I was asking, I said, show me, what do I need? How can I help these kids? Because they're just being, you know, in the line with the bubbles and the ducktails, your hands behind your back. They're not supposed to be moving the way they're meant to move. And I'm thinking about Eli. Yes, and I know this is future, but he is pretty much doing what he wants. He's home and at the daycare, she fosters all of their creativity, and she's so good with them outside all the time and letting them be without reprimanding like teachers seemingly have to. So I'm I don't know what's going to happen when he gets in school. I know he's going to be bored when he gets in school because he knows his ABCs. He knows the sounds they make. He knows why the owls sleep during the day because they're nocturnal. What? He's due. I I told them when we were there, I said, he's gonna be bored in school. God, he's like a sponge. Well, they all are. They all are. And when you teach them, they go for a walk on the nature trail outside every day, pretty much. Well, when they're home. Taylor did it all summer because he was home with them all summer, and he teaches them about stuff. So it, his brain is just absorbing all of it. It's so cute. Those 5 days. Well, if you knock off, really the last day we had to leave early to go to the airport, and we didn't get there till Friday late afternoon. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were the full day, 3 days. were just being with him. Oh, no. No, we were there Tuesday too. So there was 4 days, 4 full days. And we just had when you're around kids, you're reminded of your true nature, laughing and dancing and having fun. Everything is fun to a kid unless he's being told he can't do something. He just wants what he wants. We all do. We all want. We most of us though we shut off the fun part. We lose it. We get so stuck in those grooves that we've forgotten what it's like to have fun, to dance and to enjoy life. And I think I mean, I know that's why Peter still thinks I'm naive because the going through life like that seems like you're going to get ow! That's another thing I posted about Mr. Rogers. Did we talk about this last week? About Mr. Rogers was like the only place that I was, as a young girl, I felt validated as a young Lori, being validated for the kindness and love that he was so connected with kids, with the innocence of everybody. And that is looked down on by the majority. That's naive. That's not the way the world is. The world is rough and tough. You gotta be aggressive. Really? Mm, The you are at your weakest when you're aggressive and mean to somebody. When you are kind and loving and seeing the innocence of them, that is when you're the most powerful because every single person just wants to be loved and seen for who they believe they are. Seen. They just want to be seen. All of these kids, when I'm with them, they're just in awe because I'm talking, looking in their eye and talking to them, not talking at them, not needing them to be anything different than they are, just loving them. And I love that's my favorite thing to do is to love people. It's simple when you're coming from the love that you are. It's simple to love. It's automatic. You don't even think about it. It's just part of what is happening. Automatic. And when I feel like shit inside, I know I'm in my head. I'm believing I'm on some hook has taken me down some road that doesn't need to be. Breathe. Come back to now. Right now. That's it. Or the birds are they're always in the now. They're not stuck in their heads. The flowers, they're not saying, well, that flower's prettier than me. That flower should be turning towards us. That flower's turning the wrong way. That flower should be blah, blah, blah. Look at that flower. Look at the way it's. I saw a woman on the beach yesterday, and she was on the heavier side. She had a bikini with the thong thing up. So her butt was hanging out with all the dimples and I'm watching this mind. Who I really am was or there was an awareness of those thoughts of how could she right then I could feel it in this body. So it changed to how awesome of her to be that not giving a shit about what somebody else thinks. Wow. Not giving a rip. She could let it all hang out and it didn't matter. That's empowering right there. Doesn't matter if somebody judges her. As long as she doesn't judge her, does it matter? No. If we're not judging ourselves, why does it matter if somebody else has a judgment? That's a big one. That's a that's an empowered thought right there. We're so worried about what other people think of us. That's what drives the little me. It drives it's that's like the driving force. What will they think? That's why when we have kids and we make them say thank you, I'm sorry, whatever. We make them say things that they don't want to say, that they don't even excuse me if you burp. Really? As if it's a everybody burps, everybody farts. We act like it's something wrong. What? Who made that rule? It's something everybody does, but it's shameful? Really? And we have to apologize for it? No, crying. That's another thing. One of the little boys was saying, "Why is everybody crying in here?" I said, "Because they're not bottling up their feelings. Why do you think we have tear ducts? Tear ducts are meant to release the emotion, not keep it in. Because if you keep it in, you're going to get angry. You will be angry." He looks at me. All the other kids were listening too. There's a reason why we cry, why we have tear ducts and cry. When you stuff it, that's what keeps the anger inside. That's why everybody's so angry. We're not allowed to feel. We're not allowed. I wasn't even allowed to feel joy. I don't know, Margie. You've heard this story, I imagine. I was watching a video of our favorite Wild Wonderful Off Grid. They're our favorite, one of our favorite YouTube because we don't watch TV. We basically watch YouTube. The only thing I watch is American Idol, Survivor, which is on right now, and sometimes Big Brother. But it was I like it because I like to watch the dynamics of human behavior and see why someone gets. I can feel through the screen their how they're what they're going through. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so Wild Wonderful Off Grid. Their little girl was probably 5 years old, and they were putting up the Christmas tree. Oh, and Flynn, love you. Aw, thank you, Tan. Always call you Tan. I always do that. I shorten them Margie. I make Margie's longer because she's just Marge. I make hers longer, Margie, and Tan. I Tanya. I put. I don't even know if it's Tanya or Tanya. My cousin is Tanya, and I call her Tan. Anyway, so um, this little girl was dancing around I mean, they were putting up the Christmas tree and they put the lights on. She was so excited, loud, and I could feel myself cringing, going, I was expecting her mom and dad to calm her down because that's the way anytime I was excited or which I get excited over stupid little things. Who Somebody said right to my face, "I love you," recently because I was so excited over something little. Who was that? God. So these things just happen so quickly. I don't even know. Anyway, um, yeah, I wasn't even allowed to feel joy. It was threatening to my mom. Oh, and I'm not blaming my mom because it was conditioned out of her too. She wasn't allowed to feel joy. And boy, she really didn't. Very rare. Actually, when the baby was born, with Claire too, when she was born, but she got to see Eli more every time Taylor and Angel brought Eli to her. I have pictures of her. She's just beaming. She got stuck in her head. And now she's free of all of it. And I love that for her. I love that she gets to see, like she said at the end, I lived Gloria's life, not mine. Those were the most powerful words she could have ever said to me. Those words proved that what I've come to understand about life is the truth because it feels good in this body. And she was finally feeling good, even though she saw, but it couldn't have been any other way. I'm sure she sees that too. She, not that body and mind. The reality of her is all expansive. It's when I think of my mom, I have the image in my right here, right now. Literally, her image is it's with me. It can't go anywhere till this body goes. It will always be with me. Always. And the love that she was, the innocence that she was, is it can't go anywhere. Where's it gonna go? Back to the all that is. It's a spirit, it's a energy, it's an aliveness that we are that we're when the body's dropped, it's obvious that that aliveness is not there anymore. And we say they're gone. Body's still here. So obviously they weren't that body. How can you not see that? You can't lose anyone. You cannot lose anyone ever. They will always be part of you. Even if you build a wall while we're alive against someone, they hurt me. Anytime you think of them, which is usually a lot when you've got a judgment against somebody, it's running in there subconsciously all the time. Every time that comes up, there they are. They're part of you. They are. That's what I need to title this one. There is no they. Actually, this comes back to that video I played in the beginning. There is no they. They are us. We are one consciousness, one aliveness, one, not separate. And everybody that you're judging as wrong or hating, you're just hating yourself. That's it. That hate is living in you, in this body, which is causing the suffering, which is making you still believe that you are a person. It's cementing that belief that you're a person going through life, fighting its way through life. Can you imagine not fighting through life and just being like a child directed by the spirit that you are, the aliveness that you are, and not being afraid of doing it wrong? Ooh, that's a big one because that's ingrained in every single one of us, from the parents to the teachers to the friends who argued with us. Good morning, Cynthia. Good to see all three of you this morning. Gosh, so many people see it after there was over almost 800 people last, and I have no idea who they are. I'm just so grateful that you guys are at least open to this message. That's how this world's going to change. It's when everybody's coming from love. Can you imagine? No one to hate, no one to resent. Because as you resent Trump, who you're resenting him, that resentment is not living in him, it's living in you. Any resentment, any anger, bitterness, whatever, it's living in you. And it's poisoning all of your relationships, not just that one. And if you have multiple people that you're resenting, he's this character that's what causes the suffering, which is okay because who you really are, the aliveness that you are, isn't affected by any of it. But the lighter, the more you let go of judgment and anger and bitterness and resentment to other people, the lighter you are within. You're coming back to the light that you are. And there's no better way to go through life than seeing the effect you have from the light. Because it's a ripple effect. It's a ripple. I don't know how many ripple effects is happening because of the way Lori reacts to life, which is different than most people. So it's helping because we're all one. It's helping. And each one of you that listens to this, you can't help but come from as you entertain this and say, show me, I want to see that life will bring it to you. Just stay open. And if it becomes a hardship, a hard thing that you can't get through, you're stuck in your mind, message me. I'm here. I am willing to walk you through whatever it is. And it's usually just a few words to get you to see, oh, and then you go, I never thought of it that way. Okay. My favorite words. Those are my favorite words coming from somebody else or this Lori character. I love coming saying, like I said earlier in this video, I've never heard it. I never thought of it this way. That's the best. Okay. Unless anybody has any questions. Um, I don't have to upload this to YouTube because it's already on there. If if you if you have anybody that you think would benefit from this message, they're suffering, they're having a really hard time in life, share this video with them. Direct them to my YouTube channel. It's just Lori Tivitot. There isn't anybody else named that. And I have a my picture is me with sunglasses on. I was on my bike, but you can't really tell. Anyway, I'm kind of looking sideways with sunglasses on, and the sun is behind me. So, yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you all for watching this. And don't hesitate to message me if you're stuck in something. Literally, it is a simple phone call, boom, and you're out. And there's another layer, another lighter existence, lighter, instead of that heavy, sad, angry me. Doesn't have to be. When you truly let go, you find the love which is everywhere. Thank you, Margie. That's exactly it. Let go and let God, let life, let whatever's doing this, whatever's beating your heart and blowing those palms, let it. It knows what it's doing in absolute perfection. It's perfect love. And that's what you are. You've just forgotten. All right. I love you all. Until next Sunday. Mwah. Mm. Oops. I forgot to turn it off on YouTube. Bye.